Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is my second video and it took me a while to get up my second video, mainly because I haven't really taught myself how to edit videos and I didn't know if that was a requirement. So I'm just going to go with it and this is your one take. I hope it turns out. Anyway, I have been really busy. I told you that I'm an unemployed teacher right now, and I've got a project in the works that I can't share. I'm really excited about it, and it is book related, and I will be talking more about that in a future video. But today I wanted to talk to you about my favorite author, my favorite children's book author, which is Kate DiCamillo. Kate has a really great website that describes all of her books, and you know, if you want to go there and get more information, you can. You can always go to Amazon, whatever. But I'm just going to tell you what I think of some of her titles, some of my favorite titles, some that I haven't really read yet, some that are just okay in my book, but really you can't go wrong with Kate DiCamillo. So if you don't know who she is a native of Florida, and she moved out of Florida at some point and moved to, I think, Minnesota and worked for a book distributor. And so there she was working in this warehouse every day, handling books, looking at books, thinking to herself, I could do this. And then it turned into, I should do this. And then it turned into, she started writing and started seeking to get published, and she ended up getting published. And one of the books that she has published is my favorite book of all time. It's called Because of Winn-Dixie. Winn-Dixie, if you don't know, is a chain supermarket in Florida, and her book, it looks like this, it starts off with this little girl finding a dog that was running through the Winn-Dixie supermarket. And I can't tell you how much this book grabbed me. I could read it over and over and over. It's like one of those favorite movies that you could watch over and over and over. And even though it's a kid's book, and even though the main character is a young girl, I really could relate to her. And you'll see that that's a thread or a thing with Kate DiCamillo, is that you can really relate to the characters in the book. And that's why I love recommending Kate DiCamillo to young readers. So this book went on to win a Newbery Award, Newbery Honor, and I just can't say enough about this book. You need to read Because of Winn-Dixie first before anything else. Okay, my second favorite book from Kate DiCamillo is called The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. This is another book that I could read again and again. This is sort of well, I don't know if it's ever been compared to The Velveteen Rabbit, but it's about a little toy rabbit. It's a China rabbit that belonged to a little girl, and he ended up getting misplaced and getting lost, and it talks about his journey. And it sounds like so simple, but I mean, how does she come up with these things? I love this book. He got lost, you really follow him around, and you wouldn't think that you would care about a little China rabbit, but you really end up caring about this little guy. So I highly recommend this book as well. And I want to add that I think that this book could probably, well, you definitely want to read this to your third graders for sure. But I think that third graders could probably start reading it on their own depending on their reading abilities. So yeah, check out this book, The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane. Here's a book that is called The Tiger Rising, and this is also, well, it's not an award winner, I'm sorry. It's just by the author of a Newbery Honor author. It says that on the cover. I actually just read this book for the first time, and the thing about this book is that the main character is not a girl, it's a boy. So I think this would be a great one to suggest to boys. I mean, what boy doesn't want to read about a tiger just by looking at the title and the cover? So this is something that a boy might pick up on his own. So this one, the boy at the beginning is bullied. He's smaller than other kids his age, and he makes a friend who kind of helps him get through that. And it's a great book, and it's beautiful, and I highly recommend it. I'm looking over here because my dog is playing around. I want to make sure she's okay. Alright, this book is another award winner, and this one is called Flora and Ulysses, and it's a really neat book because the girl in the book is quite modern. She loves graphic novels. So when you open the book, I just want to show you this. It starts off in graphic novel format. Like this. Okay, but don't worry, parents won't hate you for suggesting this book because it does become a chapter book. So this is a really great adventure for a young girl. It's got a really strong character, and I think that I would say probably at least 4th or 5th graders could start reading this book. It really depends. I mean, kids, if they love a story, they'll read books above their level. They'll just work through it, and they'll ask questions, and they'll get help from mom or dad. So suggest this book to girls who like graphic novels and things like that. Or boys. It's a good book. Okay, this one is called The Magician's Elephant. This is a little bit more of a darker book. It's got magic in it. It's got adventure. Again, this is a boy protagonist, so it might appeal to boys. It might appeal to anybody who likes magic or elephants. Or circus. Circus is part of the story. And again, I think this is probably starting at a little bit older age than some of the previous books, but probably 4th graders would want to read this book. It's called The Magician's Elephant, by the way. Dog's still okay. Alright, so this is a series for younger readers. It's called Bink and Golly, and this is a great friendship series. It's also really good for students who are not that confident of readers because it's smaller than the others, it's bigger, it has larger type, it has pictures, so it's not an actual picture book, but it's sort of like a transition book for kids who are used to picture books. It's also a great read aloud because of the illustrations. So this is a series, and like I said, it's a friendship series, and it's called Bink and Golly. Okay, the next series I want to talk to you about is called Mercy Watson, and when I was a school librarian, I loved to show this to my upper 1st graders, lower 2nd graders readers, because it's really easy to read. It's an animal story, which is good for the really young readers. They love animal stories. The type is large. It's got nice illustrations. And the really neat thing is that they think that they're reading a chapter book because, look, it's set up like chapters. So they think that's really neat. So this is a whole series of books. The main character is a pig. Her name is Mercy Watson. And you can see she's a happy little pig. She's a precocious pig. The only thing that I would mention about this series is that unfortunately the covers are not very appealing to young kids. Look on the side. See, it's just plain red. So if this was sticking out, a lot of kids would just skip right over that. Even this, for some reason, the size of it is just a little different than other books. So this is something that I had to hand sell to my little kids in my library. So it's called the Mercy Watson series, and this is the first book, Mercy Watson to the Rescue. And this one is written by Kate DiCamillo and illustrated by Chris Van Dusen. So here is another series for little ones. This is called Tales from Deku Drive, and I don't believe this was out yet when I was a school librarian, so I'm not sure whether kids reach for this series a little bit more. The spine is still just a little not that appealing, but the cover is really cute and it features favorite characters from the Mercy Watson series. So those are just some of the books by Kate DiCamillo. She has a lot. She has a really big range of books. I know she also has a few actual picture books that it would be good for read-alouds. I think they're more of read-alouds than read-alones. But definitely check out her picture books. She has such a broad range. And then she also has a new book coming out that I think is more for a little bit older kids. Now, I wouldn't say it's YA, but I guess more middle school. Can't remember the name of it right now, but it's coming out in October, and I'll probably review it when it comes out. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. I just wanted to share with you books by my favorite author, Kate DiCamillo. One story from her Facebook page, she said that a little boy came up to her, or no, it was an older guy. He said that his teacher read to him from Kate DiCamillo books when he was growing up, and the stories made him feel safe. And I can definitely see how that would happen, because a lot of the kids in her books are, you know, they're maybe orphaned, or one parent has gone away for some reason, or they're, you know, being bullied for some reasons, and they're always the hero of the story. So I can see why this would be a really good book, or any of her books would be good for kids who maybe need a little confidence boost, or a little extra love from their teacher or librarian, or just from the character in a story. Wow, that was a lot. I know that was really long, and I'm not going to edit this, but I'm so glad that I got to talk to you about Kate DiCamillo, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.